we need to first of all recognize where it first starts, specifically and exactly. So once you feel a hate, resentment, a discomfort for the mere fact that someone else you know has something that you don't, then know that this is the most subtle sign of envy beginning. So we need to do something about it. However, to keep you at ease, the mere fact that you just have a feeling of discomfort that someone has something, a blessing that Allah had given them, is not in itself a sin yet. You don't get sinned for it. Feelings like this are very natural. They can come and go, and we are tested with it. What will we do with that feeling? Now, what comes next will decide if it turns into a sin or not, and whether it gets worse and worse. Because why did I give you that definition? Because in order for us to keep our hearts clean and not go down the line of destroying our deeds and ourselves, we need to first of all recognize where it first starts, specifically and exactly. So once you feel a hate, resentment, a discomfort for the mere fact that someone else you know has something that you don't, then know that this is the most subtle sign of envy beginning. So we need to do something about it. However, to keep you at ease, the mere fact that you just have a feeling of discomfort that someone has something, a blessing that Allah had given them, is not in itself a sin yet. You don't get sinned for it. Feelings like this are very natural. They can come and go, and we are tested with it. What will we do with that feeling? Now, what comes next will decide if it turns into a sin or not, and whether it gets worse and worse. Because the sky is the limit for envy, isn't it? But it has to start somewhere. So when does the feeling of envy turn from not being a sin to becoming a sin, and then becomes more difficult to repel? It becomes a sin when you start wishing in your heart. You wish that the other person's blessing or possession is taken away from them. Again, it's still inside, but now it's turned from a feeling to what? An active wish of the heart. Your mind and your heart wants that person to not have what they have. And who knows this? Yourself. Nobody can read that. I can't read that. You can't read that in me. So who knows it? Yourself. Therefore, it becomes an envy, which is sinful when you become actively wishing, not when you just merely feel it. And if you feel it and you're discomforted with that feeling, that's good. It means you don't like it. And the sin starts there when you start wishing. First of all, it starts small. The more you follow that wish and you start acting upon it, it grows. And the sin grows even more. How? For example, the sin can get worse when it becomes more than a wish. For example, you start harboring resentment and hatred towards that person, even though the person's done nothing to you. Now it's more than just a wish. It becomes a worse sin. Then it grows into a bigger sin when you become spiteful. You start spiting that person. You want to do something to ruin it for them. Or you have you intentionally conspire. Now it becomes into action. You do something to ruin things for that person, or to hurt or harm that person, or to sabotage something in their life. That's when the sin starts growing more and more from minor to medium to major sin. Why, brothers and sisters? Why is it so bad? Why is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us that envy is so bad? Well, because if you think about it, it's a form of ingratitude to Allah. The shaitan is playing with your head as if to say, it's not fair. Why do they have it? I don't have it. Like, who's the one who blessed them with it? Allah. We as Muslims believe that nothing a person has or doesn't have except from Allah. Yes, you may have worked for it, but your work means nothing if Allah does not allow for you to receive. So the fact that a person receives is an action of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. يَرْزُقُ مَن يَشَاءُ. Allah provides for whomever He wills. So when you think about it, Envy can lead a person to ingratitude and also hatred to Allah's decision and decree, His qadr. It's exactly why Iblis became a disbeliever. Now, of course, it doesn't mean you become a disbeliever, but you can see that it can lead to disbelief in extreme circumstances, where a person starts to resent even partly God's decree. And it causes harm and conflict, corruption among people, families, in the community, in the society. A brother could potentially kill his own brother because of envy. They'll kill their own father, their own child, because of envy. Think about inheritance around the world, how much crime has been done because of inheritance, because of business, because of money and wealth is probably top of the list. Now, I said that there is jealousy. Jealousy is a bit different to envy. Jealousy is fearing the loss of something or someone, fearing to lose it, which you already have, and you fear to lose it to someone else, a rivalry. And there's praiseworthy jealousy and unpraiseworthy jealousy, good and bad jealousy. The praiseworthy jealousy is a protective type of jealousy and carries honor for the well-being of a man's dignity or female relatives. For example, for his wife, it goes even further. It becomes a protective and romantic jealousy, but not too much. That's praiseworthy. For his wife, it is a protective and romantic jealousy, which in Arabic, in the Quran, or in the Hadith, in Islam, it's called غيرة محمودة, or غيرة محمودة, a good type of jealousy. And also goes for the wife as well, where she has a little jealousy as well. This is healthy type of jealousy. And these praiseworthy types of jealousies, they reflect feelings for each other and scared of losing each other because you love each other, because you honor each other, you value each other. But it does not, what's important is that this type of jealousy should not cross the line to the point of jealousy of possessiveness. I own you. Obsessive compulsive control, or doubt in one's wife or female relatives to start accusing them of things that they are innocent of. Jealousy can lead to that. So the unpraiseworthy jealousy is an irrational fear of losing something to someone else without probable cause. There's no real, it's just in your head.